Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, your senior drill instructor. From now on, you will speak only when spoken to. And the first and last words out of your filthy sewers will be, sir. Do you maggots understand that?
Sir, yes, sir.
Can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair.
Sir, yes, sir.
It's Scuttlebutt Radio with your hosts, Tom Claxton and Cal Walters. Radio for veterans by veterans.
Welcome back to the Scuttlebutt Network radio program, broadcasting from the Humana Veterans Initiative studios in Mobile, Alabama on 106.5 FM. Firing the shots heard around the world on scuttlebuttnetwork.com. You can also catch us on the TuneIn app for your smartphone. You can also check us out on Facebook. And as we were saying, if you want to jump on Facebook and let us know exactly who you think the biggest turkeys are for our veterans and military this year.
Our computer's blowing up.
Well, I cannot imagine. Please don't talk about blowing up in computers in the studio.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Not now.
Not after yesterday.
No, and yeah, you can also follow me on Twitter. It's at @Cal_SBN or at SBN_Tom. Again, we're celebrating the season with our list of the biggest turkeys of 2012 for our military and veterans, and we've already hit on Chris Hayes, Mr. I can't figure out what a hero is, and Mr. Bill Press, who has decided he doesn't want the Star Spangled Banner, and Homeland, the Secretary of Homeland Security, the head of Homeland Security, Janet Napolitano, who's decided that our veterans belong on all of the watch lists for terrorists, as well as the little old ladies and babies and strollers. But anyway,
she's worked her way up on my PO'd list too.
Really, that's hard to do for you because that top's pretty full.
I know it, but that page just kind of bends over, rolls over.
I figured it'd be more. Yours would be more like a mushroom cloud.
Yeah, well, it is, but and it rolls too. It's so heavy. It's top heavy, like brass in Washington D.C.
Well, speaking of brass, who's up next for you, Tom?
I hate to go here.
Really,
being a Southern gentleman, I don't know where
Southern. At least one of the two.
I don't know.
Is
yeah, I better drop the gentleman. Southern redneck that's got an opinion. Okay.
I never should have taken him to the Charlie Daniels concert.
Well, hey, I love that, baby. That's my man, baby. I'm going to be his boy.
I tell you what, I still have flashbacks of that whole dancing thing.
Hey, that's cool. Hey, old man can do it, baby. What you talking about? Where all you youngsters think y'all learned how to dance?
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
Us old folks, man, we invented all that stuff.
All right, so there was a problem with the whole Southern thing.
Well, this guy over there in Mississippi, or he was from Mississippi, I think Mississippi has taken his rank away from him, moved him out of the state, is my buddy, Secretary of the Navy, Ray the Colonel. They won't even call him Southern Colonel anymore. Mabus, and his destruction of our Navy, and is in order to push his boss's progressive agenda, including the stupid biofuels that cost 19 times more than the damn regular fuel. Come on.
It is amazing that you've got somebody such as Ray Mabus who has been in the position that he's been in and has done arguably as much damage to our Navy in his tenure as we've seen in literally decades.
Cal, it really doesn't make any sense, much less any common sense, that a guy from the state of Mississippi that has one of the largest shipbuilding facilities in the world that still employ 20,000 people or something there on the coast. It's an ungodly number, and they have contracts to build these ships for like another 10 years or so. And this Yahoo that has been put in office and was the governor of that precious state, with money from from probably the Ingalls Group and all of the money people that supplied all the pieces, and he's going to go up there now. He's going to. I mean, he's not even fighting for the cause. Come on.
Well, I guess it depends on what cause that you're looking at, because as we've talked about it and as the stories have told, he has basically become a mouthpiece for.
He's a hey boy.
Yes, for the agenda, and it's almost as if they have forgotten that he's there. He's there to ensure the success of the Navy. And where the stories that have come out, especially concerning the whole biofuel, the Navy has basically co-opted what should be part of the Secretary or the Department of Energy.
Right.
And, they're co-opting with the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Energy, to push this biofuel program. And it's part of the overall green agenda that they know if they actually let these alternative energies, if they put them in the marketplace and let the marketplace figure it out, they will fail.
Right.
It
won't last.
And so, but what they're doing is they're forcing that production, and they're forcing groups like the Navy and the Army and the rest of the military to buy these things and in a lot of instances, do the research for them.
Right.
And then, as you said, they're going to be paying 19, 20 times the amount they would for regular fuel.
Sure.
And at the same time, they're talking about how we have to decrease the size of our Navy because we don't have the money to be able to afford the ships.
Well, now, wait a minute. Aren't we broke? I mean, if we're broke.
We're broke so many times over. Yeah, I mean, that has nothing to do with it.
And we can't afford the ships. And now they're going to take out and make a KFC fleet out of them, and burn all of the Kentucky Fried Chicken grease. And I mean, the only people that are making money off of that is the dudes that have got the names on the list at the White House where they go up and see the El Presidente. Our president. But, and then they make us, hey, white boy, get out there and burn this stuff. I got to take care of these people who donated all the money to my campaign.
And that's the thing that I think is most galling, and especially when you talk to not only the ones that are building the ships down there, but you've got the CB bases over in Gulfport, and you talk to the some of the CBs that are over there, and there are more and more of them that they're not waiting around to find out whether or not they're going to get the axe. No. These are men and women who have wanted careers in the Navy who are just saying, I can't stand the uncertainty of it. I'm getting out. Yeah. And of course, for some of the commanders, it hadn't taken that long. When you consider the number of COs and captains of ships that the Navy has cut and found reasons.
Isn't it an unbelievable number? I mean, did I hear in the thousands?
Well, they have been on a record pace this year to get rid of them. And I mean, these are men and women who have made their way through the ranks, who are commanders of ships, and at this point, considering the that Ted Kennedy, I think, could probably drink on the floor of the Congress. These guys can't go to a party when they're off the ship and have a drink without getting in trouble.
I mean, we were all born and raised on this, and it's this time and place for it. So come on,
we'll talk about that a little bit later, not in this show, but later on the Scuttlebutt. We'll talk about it, how they're doing this with the military, and they're just getting rid of those. They want to toe the line.
At the rate they're going, we're not going to have anybody to captain the ships any damn way.
Well, that's okay because we don't have any ships.
Well, yeah. So, I guess we don't need them. We don't have any ships, so
that's it.
Well,
you just park one outside of D.C. and monitor and make sure nobody goes up there.
We can go down here to Balabatry and we can start building some of these duck blind boats or something, because that's what we're going to be having to shoot shotguns out of that to protect our country.
Hey, that's about it. It just shows how that the folks up at the top of the pecking order are really, they've forgotten they're supposed to be taking care of our security and taking care of the troops. And there's two of them right next to each other for me, Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta and Marine General, and I hate to bust on a Marine, but Marine General John Allen, who of course has his own issues right now. Goodness knows he should have remembered to wipe his computer clean when they were deleting all the records.
30,000 pages.
I don't know. I mean, how do you have time to do that while you're supposed to?
You'd have to have 5 aides to work it for you to send all these messages for you.
That's it. I don't know exactly who was doing it, but they were dealing with they're still dealing with the twin specters of military suicides and our friendly attacks over in Afghanistan. And between the two of them, while all of this has come to a head, you've had more suicides in the Army this year and in our military this year than you have had combat deaths. And then, of course, you have these green on blue attacks in which our Afghan allies are popping us in the back of the head every time we turn around. And these two yahoos, Panetta comes through and says, well, something very, very serious, and we're just baffled by the whole thing. And, something like that is basically what it said. And now I've got to get on my plane and head back to California.
Yeah.
And but it's very serious.
Back to the nut farm.
Yeah, that's it. And we'll be taking a look at it. And then Alan, of course, where did this? I mean, maybe he was spending a little too much time late night in the chat rooms. But, I mean, he comes up and it was like the whole Benghazi thing. He said, all these green on blue attacks, it's caused by, they go on leave and they come back and they're disturbed. Or maybe it's because in Ramadan they fast. And so they're hungry when they come back and they're irritated. And, I said, well, geez, I mean, what are we going to do during Lent down here along the coast? All the Catholics are going to start popping each other at the fish fries. But, between those two things, or maybe it could have been a YouTube video they called it.
It was probably a YouTube video.
These two turkeys, come on. And, and the lapdogs in the media, they just seem to forget they're supposed to ask questions of these people and not just follow along with whatever it is that comes out of their mouths. And It's just amazing. But again, those are a couple of my turkeys for the year.
Well, you hit them hard.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I thought I had mine covered, and then here you come up with those, and I remembered I had forgotten some of that stuff. But there's so many of these stupid things that are going on.
I'll tell you what. But on the other side of the break, an admiral, 3 generals, and a CIA director walk into a bar.
What?
Well, you'll never guess the punchline.
What's wrong with that?
More turkeys and Tom's tirade on photo op pardons and enduring thanks coming up later when we return to the Scuttlebutt Network.
These are men, America's best.